Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to do a review for you on the new Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Blush Palette. I've done this intro like 12 times. No lie, no joke, no exaggeration. I can't seem to pull it together. I'm just like overly excited about this product. So I picked this product up last week. It was about last week when I was out browsing Sephora, which is never a good idea. Just don't do it because you're gonna walk out of there with something. There are times where I can walk out with nothing and feel completely satisfied in my collection, but then I saw this. And I was like, you know what? I've always been a fan of their blushes, the ambient lighting powders, their highlighters, the bronzers. I've used it all. I've talked about it to death, and I love their stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick this up and make a video for you in case this was something you were eyeing up. I wanted to do this also because I'm such a fan. I wanted to compare it to the original limited edition blush trio that came out a few years ago and compare it to some of the other products because I find that really helpful. And I knew I was going to love it, so I was going to buy it anyway, so why not make a video? So we're going to start off with the packaging. This is what the packaging looks like. It is the same as that limited edition trio that came out, like I said, I think it was like, maybe it was 3 Christmases ago now. 2 Christmases, I think, 2 holidays. So the original one, and all of their permanent line blushes for that matter, are called the Ambient Lighting Blushes because they are mixed with the ambient lighting powders. So this was the one that came out. It had mood exposure, incandescent, mood exposure is down here. Yeah, the names are backwards. Mood exposure, incandescent, electra, and luminous flush. They have since made all of these permanent, so you can get any of these individually from their permanent line. This blush palette was around that $62, I think it was also $62, which is what the new one retails for. And you got 3.3 grams total, each blush being 0.116 ounces. Keep that in mind, keep that number in mind. So that's what this looks like. The new one is also $62. Same packaging. They're both gold. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera because it just like reflects off my lights here. But the new one is 0.09 ounces a piece. So they're a little bit smaller and you get 2.8 grams. Don't you love how they do that? Like, they find out everyone loves it, so they just make it a little bit smaller, but charge the same price. It's just how it goes. But whatever. I'm okay. I'm not going to knock them for that. So this is what the new one looks like. And don't worry, I will be inserting close-ups so you can really get a good look at this. But the new one has Incandescent Electra, Brilliant Nude, and Euphoric Fusion. The blushes in this new palette are not mixed with their ambient lighting powders. These are what their ambient lighting powders look like. This particular one is called Mood Light. So each of these ambient lighting powders are made to mimic different types of lighting, whether it be mood light, which is more like a moonlit glow, all the way up to like a daylight look or candlelight. Mimic that look on your face. The corresponding blush to this ambient lighting powder is called Mood Exposure, which is in their permanent line. So the original release was mixed with these. New blush trio is mixed with their strobe lighting powders. And that is why it sucked me in the store, because all I could see was these glistening blushes. And I was like, okay, I knew they were coming out with a new trio, but I didn't know that they were going to mix them with their new strobe lighting, which is aka their highlighters, versus their ambient powders, which is more of like a soft, really subtle. You're not going to really notice it on the face in camera, but you would if you were standing next to somebody. This is the shade Brilliant Strobe Light, and this blush is mixed with the nude shade in the new palette. In a single ambient lighting blush, you can pick up, I think they have about 6 different shades now in their permanent line. This particular one is called Diffused Heat, kind of like a coral color. You get 0.15 ounces or 4.2 grams in a single blush. And a single blush retails for $38. Their ambient strobe lighting powders, as I said, this one's called Brilliant Strobe. You get 0.16 ounces or 4.6 grams, and this retails for $46. So if you divide the total price divided by the amount of product that you're getting, you are paying a little bit more for something like this. However, you are getting options. And I don't know about you, but I don't mind paying for convenience. I really don't, especially if it's something where I'm going to have more options to choose from. Basically, the fusion of the ambient strobe powders mixed with their blushes is what drew me into this, because their blushes, let me just tell you, really apply nicely. They blend effortlessly on the skin, and they really look like they're coming from within. I am wearing all 3 of the colors today. I'm using the I first started off by bronzing up my face a little bit with the Brilliant Nude shade. I also took this shade and put it in the crease of my eyes. And then towards the backs of my cheeks, I really like to sculpt and contour. And you by all means don't need to just pick one blush and put it on. Like, play with it a little bit, mix and match. I took the Euphoric Fusion, which is a little bit more of like the berry shade, and I applied that to the backs of my cheek, really just blending it in nicely with the Brilliant Nude shade, just kind of create like a berry bronzed look. And then I popped the lightest shade, Incandescent Electra, onto the apples of my cheek. I'm going to insert a swatch of the new Incandescent Electra shade compared to the one that comes in the trio, or that's the same exact shade that they have in their permanent line. You can see the one that comes in the new trio of blushes is definitely a little bit more sparkly, has a little bit more zip, a little bit more pizzazz to it. And I can see that translated on the skin. It really creates a glow, just a really sexy, healthy glow on your face because of that strobe powder that's mixed in with the blush pigments. So Hourglass uses a photoluminescent technology, and you can see this on their website. They explain that what that does is the sparkly particles is, I guess, the best way that I can describe it. The multi-dimensional look that you get on the powder comes from those sparkly type particles that really amplify the colors to give your skin such a radiant, flawless, lit from within glow. Now you can get that same effect with any of their blushes from their permanent line. However, because they're mixed with the ambient lighting powders, which are really basically, if you swatch it, not much. I mean, it's not a powder that is a setting powder. It's not even like, it's basically more of like a finishing powder, but even after you apply a finishing powder, it really is just something else to create a blurred glow on your face. And this mood light really helps get rid of any sort of redness. And then the radiant light just adds some glow to your skin, and the luminous one that they have just adds a little bit of a shine, like a pretty shine, not like greasy, but just like angelic glow. However, the strobe ones are another, oh my gosh, it's just a little bit more than that. It's just more noticeable on the skin. I think the colors in this palette are beautiful. I like that you're getting a mixture of a nude shade, which could also be used as a bronzer, a little bit more of like a corally peach color, which is going to be perfect now that, well, it feels like spring outside to me, quite frankly. It is January, it's like 70-some degrees. It already feels like spring to me. But when I think of spring, I think of corals, and I love the corally shade in here. I think that looks great in all skin tones. It really just adds some warmth to your skin. And then my favorite color out of this is the Euphoric Fusion, and that's what really drew me to buy this, because it's like that berry sexy color. It's very reminiscent to me of like some of my favorite blushes, which are like NARS Oasis, things that are like that sparkly berry champagne color, just really flattering. My overall thoughts on this are I love it. I freaking love it. I loved my old one. I love their powders. I love their blushes. I have almost all of them. I don't have Dim Infusion, and I don't have Luminous Flush in an individual one. This was in my Best of Beauty. I love their their strobe lighting powders. I love them. I have my eye on Incandescent. I might need that one, but I love Brilliant. I'm actually wearing just a little bit of that today. Not much. I just wanted to dip into it a little bit to show you how you can mix and match these products, but I am wearing all of the blushes, and I find them stunning. I find them freaking phenomenal. I highly recommend checking out this new blush palette. I think you'd really enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely recommend checking that out if those shades are something you're interested in. If you love their strobe powders mixed with the blush, I mean, I'm telling you, it's so beautiful on the skin. It just looks lit from within, and today I put on quite a bit because I really wanted to make that the focal point of today's look, but I love it. I love it. I love it. So highly recommend checking that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we're gonna chat very soon. Love you guys so much.